Yes, because it is the lazy, hazy, etc. I thought, you know what? Sometimes I just get tired of sewing straight lines, and this is what Leah was referring to, my mask with the flip-flops, and it kind of matches the pants. So, but yeah, sometimes you just get tired of doing the same old thing. And so, if you're not aware, we carry here at the store Quilting Arts magazine. And it's a wonderful, wonderful, inspirational sort of a publication. Comes out now. This one is labeled Summer of 2021, so I'm not expecting a new issue for a month or so. But there was a little article in this called Braided Curves. Um, I have done this before. I forget where I had seen it, but this was a really, really good article with wonderful instructions. So if you're into doing something wild and wacky and just to have a little bit of fun, I'm going to show you how easy it is to get that sort of a look in your quilts. Whether you do your whole quilt with the curved piecing, or whether you just throw in the odd block for a little bit of interest. So you want to start, yes, I know it's Technique Tuesday, but hey, techniques can be kind of fun. So you want to start with a couple of pieces of contrasting fabric. Yeah, I think we can see that. I got a little corner of my screen there. And you're going to trim down your finished block to the size that you need. So be a little bit generous. I think I've got about 7-8 inches by about 15 here. So that's a good size block. Now the key with this guy, you can see, you're going to put your fabrics together right sides up. So both of them facing upward like this. And then you're going to take your rotary cutter, nice and sharp. Give yourself kind of a running start, and you are going to cut a gentle curve through both pieces of fabric. So let's see what we can do. If at all possible, you're going to enter the fabric straight, get that gentle curve going, and pop off fairly straight. So woohoo! Straight lines are overrated. There we go. So we've cut through both layers of fabric. Now it's magic. What I can do is separate these. So I have that piece and I have this piece. I'm going to move that up into the camera range. Hopefully you can see that. So now I just have to sew this together, and this is partly why you want to start with a piece that's bigger than what you want it to end up being, because you're going to lose a little bit in your seams. So sewing curves, this is not nearly as deep a curve as your average drunkard's path, so they're a lot easier to sew and a good way to introduce someone to sewing on a curved area. So you want to pin both ends, and then you just want to kind of nudge it in. This is going to curve or stretch a little bit like that. So what I'm going to do, I could sit down and just sew it, but I think I'm going to put a few pins across just to give me some guidance. These curves are shallow curves, so you could clip them, but I find with the give in the fabrics, it's probably not, oop, that one's stuck on the outside. Probably not necessary. So I've got a few pins in there, and I'm going to move over to the sewing machine. So I'm going to lower my presser foot, pop that pin out of the way, give it a little bit of stitching. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And this is where I didn't grab one. This is fine. Oh, too pointy. This is where one of the sewing stilettos or awls would be really helpful, because you can tease that fabric into place. And you're going to sew with your usual 1/4 inch seam. Pull this guy up. This isn't speed sewing. So a real good introduction to sewing a curved seam. Every once in a while, double check that bottom piece. Make sure it's lining up. Gotta remember to take my foot off the foot pedal. Okay. And just raise that. Okay, now I didn't bother bringing out an iron. So when you get that sewn, fits together nicely, it'll tell you which direction it feels like folding. In this case, it kind of wants to fold that way. So I'm just going to give it a little encouragement from the back. And there is our curved piece right there. So that's one. Now, let's see if we can do the other one. If you pick up the magazine, the lady who wrote the article, her name is Maria Schell, and she takes you, once you've done this step, she takes you a step further and shows you how to take these curved pieces and put a secondary curve into them so that they become a braided curve. They actually blend into each other, and I find that they look, I'm going to pull this out to the front here. I find that this really almost looks like a bit of a landscape. So I think it would be a great technique to work into a landscape style quilt, or just to add a wee bit of interest to any other quilt. I think the one that I did in the past, I interspersed curved blocks like this with just some straight pieced blocks. That was a fun quilt to work on, that guy. So here we go with number 2. Pin. Go. And I'm so glad that we work with fabric and not concrete or steel, because we can do these nice soft things. Go. So obviously, because these were 2 halves of one piece of fabric, your curve is going to be pretty much the same, just in reverse when it comes to your color placement. So it would be up to you, or a little far over. edge. Isn't it amazing what people will watch on YouTube? Okay, back here to this guy. So there's the second piece, and I'm just gonna give it a little encouragement from the back. So when that's pressed down nicely, you can see it gives a lovely smooth curve. Two pieces, completely opposite. Isn't that fun? So it's a great little technique, and it's a wonderful way of adding a little bit of interest to the things that you are working on. Pretty much you could put that in anywhere. You could alternate it. What if you made, I'm just going to switch your back here. What if you made a whole series of these, maybe in a slightly smaller scale, and then piece them as you would a rail fence? Could be a very, very, ooh, I like that idea. I just might have to try that. So I love trying new things, especially in the summertime when sometimes we are just getting a little bit bored and a little bit tired. I mean, I don't know about you, but even the weather's kind of boring these days because every day it's the same. So I understand it's going to change, which is kind of nice. Nice to look forward to. So that's our little project for today. Our braided curves. We haven't braided these ones yet, but if you want to swing by the store or add this to your online order, Quilting Arts Magazine, you'll get the full instructions in there on how to carry on from here if you want to and create something fun and interesting. So that's about it for today. Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday and a great week. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, stay calm, and try and stay out of the smoke. Take care, everyone.